doing fucking headers on the Camaro. We got 2016. Basically, what have we done? We took the fucking intake off. We took off the little plastic on these sides. Use a T27 for the torque bits on the plastic here. This is just a flathead. Let's see, what else did we take off up here? All right, I think that was it here. And we took the coolant reservoir out of there, which was just a 10mm bolt up there. Pop that out. And I think that's all I did up here so far. So you got these, the plastic like shield, and then you have this metal like kind of support. These were all 7mm right here. That's what's holding the plastic up. And then for the metal thing, I think we got like 13s or 13 or 15s. I think there was a mixture of both of those. All right, so from there, I kind of finessed that out. And then I started working on these here. All right, so from here, I had to take the O2 sensors out, bank 1 and 2. That was, I used a 7/8 because I didn't have a big enough wrench in millimeters. So I think I found a 7/8 and that worked. And then it was 15 again for all 4 of these bolts coming off the manifold end of these pipes here. So that's where I'm at right now. We just got the entire exhaust. Oh yeah. So in the middle here, there's like a bracket in the middle. That's 13mm. There's 5 bolts. You just take on under those, and then there's 2 hangers in the back that you'll have to undo to take the fucking exhaust out. So from now, we're gonna start. All right. So we've got both stock manifolds off. I've finessed the passenger side. Now I gotta get the steering rack undone on this side, or else I'm not getting it in. Definitely should have jacked the car up a little bit more, because I kind of fought to get this in there, but not bad. Better than I thought it was gonna be. Now I'm getting the steering out. I did break one of my spark plug wires, so now I gotta go to AutoZone and grab that. But honestly, not a bad time to change your spark plug wires, anything like that. Get some new O2 sensors since we're already down here. I also already bought a camshaft position sensor. It's somewhere around here that I've opened space for. I think there's a sensor on the starter over here that I have, and now I have room to get to that easily. So, I mean, while you're doing these jobs, like, might as well dig into that stuff. But overall, we're about to get these tubes in, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna mock up the old exhaust to the new tubes and cats, because it's definitely gonna be some length difference. Might have to cut it up, add some exhaust clamps, but that'll be for later, honestly. But overall, this job is not that hard if you're gonna try to do it yourself. Just obviously you gotta take off everything down here. The plastic cover that I was talking about earlier goes here. Then you have that metal frame that was right here. So then, I mean, all the bolts are easily accessible. You're gonna see them. And then you could take those right off. Gives you room to work under here. I recommend you jacking your car up more than I did. I mean, you can kind of see I'm like a couple notches up on the jack stands. I got some 6-ton, like the bigger size jack stands, right? But I probably should have jacked it up a little bit more than this. If you have a lift, obviously it's gonna be a lot easier, but I don't. If you're doing this shit on your back, then make sure your car is pretty high, or else you're gonna be fighting that shit. But here soon, we're gonna have some fucking long tubes in here, and no check engine light from the cats, so that'll be sick. All right, day 2, putting the headers on the Camaro. We're wrapping it up, but I'm gonna do a quick review of everything we just did, pretty much. All right, come back here. So, starting from the top real quick, just to kind of speed through everything. take your intake off, or your filter, right? Get that out of the way. I had to, if you can get on this, I had to unbolt this to just get this out of the way. It made it easier to start getting in the bolts of the original manifold, and obviously to put the headers on as well. All right, I took all the plastic off as well just to get in there. While I was in here, I went ahead and changed out my spark plugs and my spark plug wires. And then on this side here, we got your coolant reservoir. I removed that, got that out of the way. And then I also had to remove the dipstick because that goes through the manifold and the new header. So I got that out of the way, or at least I unbolted it, and once I got the manifold loose, I was able to get it up. Last night, we got the new headers in. As soon as I got those bolted in, I went ahead and put everything back together up top here, just resecuring all the hoses to where they go, getting my coolant reservoir, the dipstick, and the air filter back bolted down. All right, so then everything up top was good. And going underneath, here's your little shield here. Obviously I took that off. Your 7mm bolts there. These are 10mm. You're gonna have quite a few of those. Gonna remove them as well. All right, and then you have the metal support all the way. All right, it's pretty light, but those are going to be, I think those are 15s. So you got some here as well. Here, there's some up front here, and then you got them there. So those are 15s. I removed this to clear a way for the new headers. All right, so we got them in. We also put the cats on. That was what started this whole job, was the engine light coming on for the cat delete, and nobody's tuning for cat delete anymore, so I had to put cats back on if I wanted my engine light to come off. Went ahead and changed out my O2 sensors as well. I gotta kind of secure those somehow, probably zip tie those up. The only other thing up here that I did to get this one in, you can't really see it very well here, but right in there, you got your steering like column or whatever, the little like steering bar. Had to take that out at least just a little bit to get this header to fit in. I still have to find some heat shield for the starter right here, because these pipes are going to get pretty hot, and I don't want that to affect that, which was recommended in the video I watched as well. But yeah, from there I pretty much cut off some of my original exhaust. Like, I just cut it back to be able to fit into the clamps that the kit came with for the cats and headers. So I got it all mocked up, kind of seeing how it fit. It's tightened back down. I got my bracket back here for the exhaust back on. So those are 13mm. You're gonna want to take that off when you do the job. And then it's just 2 hangers in the back, and then in the very rear, they just slide in as well. But everything was pretty simple. And honestly, in this car, the fitment was not bad. I was able to slide these in. The only thing I wish I'd done was jack the car up a little bit more, just because I was actually fighting the floor with the headers, and that was harder than actually fitting them in. So all in all, went pretty smooth. So we're gonna come back out and get it on the ground and start it up.